afternoon to all the participants, and thank you, Mr. Nath, for giving the perspective and the background of this presentation and deliberation. I will run through some of the slides and give you perspective and what are the potential which can be harnessed and how we can deepen and strengthen the our cooperation and ties so far the Northeast region is concerned with Japan. Next slide, please. Okay. As we know that Japan and India has a age-old ties, and so far Assam is concerned, Assam is just coming up, Northeast region is coming up. Unfortunately, we don't have very vibrant economic relationship, cross-border trade, and this regional trade with Japan. But now things are changing. If you can see the total trade with between India and Japan is in 2018-19, it has been about 17.63 US billion dollar, and in terms of the investment, Japan is the fourth biggest investor in India, and cumulative FDI from Assam has been about 200 billion US dollar, which account about 7% of the total FDI inflow in the country. So we have a very vibrant and very effective economic ties with Japan. But when we talk about the Northeast region, we talk about Assam in particular, then out of about 1,500 Japanese companies who are here in the country, not a single company has its production base or any production facility in Northeast region and in Assam. And from Assam, except tea, we don't have any product to export, and Northeast region hardly directly importing anything from Japan. JICA has taken up several projects in the region, but those are not directly related to promotion of the trade and commerce. Next slide. But over the period, a lot of changes has taken place, and Assam government has set up Act East Policy Department to give focus to this policy and harness the potential of this policy. And now we are positioning the state as an expressway to ASEAN, and Northeast region, if you can see, strategically located and very close to ASEAN, BBIN countries. So it makes sense for Assam and the Northeast region to have a more economic ties and trade with our neighboring countries rather than focus to Gujarat and Maharashtra, which if you can see the aerial distance is quite far away from Northeast region. Next. Assam is having one of the fastest growing economy. Our growth rate has been more than 10%, and it is expected that by 2025, the GDP of Assam will grow up to 75 billion from present GDP of state GDP of about 50 billion. And export is also assessed to be grow up to 1 billion US dollar. Presently, it is only 450 million US dollar. This study has been conducted by Asian Development Bank. So in the next 4 or 5 years, we are expecting that state economy will grow substantially, and export will also increase many-fold with the neighboring countries. Next. In this economic development scenario, if any Japanese companies come to Assam, or the trade and economic ties are deepened, then we have a very natural resource base to support the economic activities, to industrial and manufacturing activities. As you know, and the tea, crude oil, rubber, limestone, bamboo, silk, medicinal plant, these are the sector where we provide natural resource base, and Assam is the leading state in the country in these areas. Next. Next, please. In case of tea, Assam is the largest producer of the tea in the world. So far this region is concerned, we are first in Muga silk production in the country. We have the higher one of the higher reservoir of the natural gas. Assam is also the highest producer of the ginger, pineapple. We are second so far the jute production is concerned. In crude oil also, Assam is the third largest producer of onshore crude oil in the country. Apart from that, there's many products where Assam is the leading, and we have surplus to sustain any kind of industry. There's a huge potential area in spices, in food processing, in hydrocarbon, in other sector as well. Next. Apart from natural resource base and raw material to support the industry, over the period, Assam has come up a long way, and we have developed a very robust industrial infrastructure. As on today, we have more than 50 industrial parks, and some of them are very thematic, like bamboo park, plastic park, and IT park to support a particular kind of industry. We have more than 2,000 acres of land which is ready to allot, and industries can start construction from the next day. It's ready to use situation. We are planning to acquire an additional land of 1,000 acres. So we are having a huge land bank to allot the land to the industries who are planning to set up their production base here in Assam. Apart from that, industrial zone has been notified, and the land of that area has been automatically converted to industrial land. So any industry buying the land in that industrial area will be exempted from converting the land, and they can start the industrial activities in the land itself. To promote the export from Northeast region, we have recently started the air cargo complex at Airport Guwahati, and we have already set up one startup center, and over 100 startups have been promoted. We have given the financial grant, we have nurtured them, and they have got the recognition nationally and internationally for their very innovative ideas and products. Next. Next. Apart from the this infrastructure, logistic park, we are focusing on the connectivity. And presently, Assam is well connected through road, air, waterways with other part of the country. We have a very reliable and round the years open network of the highway and the rail network. Now the new Trans-Asian highway is also coming, which is passes through Assam. So we'll have a very reliable connectivity, not with the other part of the country, but with the neighboring countries as well. Next. Next, please. As I said that this Trans-Asian highway will connect most of the countries of the Asia, and through rail network, Assam will be connected with Japan. So once this connectivity is put in place, then we can explore and harness the potential of the export and import and trade with the neighboring countries, particularly with Japan as well. Next. Now Assam has the Northeast region has access to Mongla and Chattogram port. Government of India has signed one agreement with Bangladesh, and Bangladesh has allowed access to cargo from Northeast region through Brahmaputra to their two ports, Mongla and Chattogram. Now we have a transit route through sea to any other part of the country. Apart from that, Government of India is also developing a Sitwe port in Mizoram. So from Northeast region, we have access to sea through Mizoram, through Sitwe port, as well as through Mongla and Chattogram port from Bangladesh. So our problem, like the Northeast region considered to be landlocked region, so that will not be a constraint, but will have access to the all part of the world through sea routes. So these things are happening, and in next 2-3 years, we are expecting that we have a very reliable network of the waterways in this region. Next. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, so apart from the connectivity, logistic, and infrastructure, we have a very thriving network of educational institution. IIT, Triple IT, IST, NIT, and many central and state university, medical colleges, and other research centers are situated, located here in Northeast region, particularly in Assam. And every year, uh, about 6,000 engineers graduate, 5,000 ITI diploma holders, and about 2,000 medical professionals pass out from the state. So they provide a human resource for the sustaining any kind of industry in this region. We have a very vibrant system of the skilling of youth, and we have planned that about 5 lakhs uh, youth will be skilled in next 3-4 years. As I discussed, the Assam startup, we provide hand holding and other kind of support to startup, the youth coming with the new ideas. Recently, we have started the construction of skill university. So the in the skill sector will provide the higher-end education, and so that the people in this area get skill and get employability across the world. Next, next. Uh, we have also notified about 12 policies. These policies support different sectors and provide very attractive incentives to any kind of industry, any kind of enterprises, if anyone want to set up in this region. Next. If we can club the policy of government of Assam and the government of India, particularly to promote the industry, then you can see that Assam offers the best incentive, best subsidy to set up any kind of industry or service sector enterprise in this region. So I will not go in detail. This I will share this presentation to all the participants. But if you can see and compare with other states, the Northeast region has the best incentive and subsidy to support any kind of industrial activity in this region. Next. One thing I would like to share with you that Assam has been pioneer in the country so far the ease of doing business activities is concerned. At present, we have our own single window clearance portal, and 465 services have been made online. Offline process has been discontinued, and all the application are received through online portal. Clearance permissions are given online, and in last 2.5 years we have received 1.2 lakh, more than 1.2 lakh applications, and most of them have been disposed of. And one thing I would like to share with you that out of 465, about 350 services have also been notified under Assam Right to Public Service Act. Means if these services are not delivered within prescribed time, then the users can make appeal to the commission, and the officer concerned who is responsible for delay can be fined of rupees 25,000. So this is a punitive provision has been made. So just to make it more reliable and so that the services can be delivered in time. Next. Just this is the I think the second last slide. I wanted to share one real case study with all the participants that how effective enabling and empowering system and ecosystem we have developed here in Assam. I will like to share the case of Patanjali. Patanjali wanted to set up an industry, and they wanted to invest about 1,000 crore here in Assam. They came to our state on 24th October in 2016, and they had detailed discussion with us. And after that, on 15th November, they submitted application for allotment of land. Land was allotted, all clearance permission was given. They started their construction work on 5th December 2016. And interestingly, within 90 days, within March, they started their production on 29th March 2017. So they got the land on 15th November. They started the production on 29th March, invested 1,000 crore. So you can see that how enabling system and how enabling the ecosystem we have created in the state. Next, please. GIT is another area which state government has been trying to set up here in Assam. We have already identified a place called Nagarbera. We have acquired a land of 600 acres, and this location is very close to Guwahati. And a team of JETRO had visited, and we are pursuing with the DPIIT. DPIIT has also been recommended. So we are expecting that once we get the approval of the competent authority, then we'll start the construction of the JIT, Japanese Industrial Town, here in Assam. And that will, I'm hopeful that will attract large number of industries from Japan, and they will create, not only bring the investment, but also they will bring the new values, new ethos, new principle, new work culture, and that will have a tangible and intangible benefit to this region. Next. Just elaboration of the JIT, I just wanted to share the location. It's very close to airport and other infrastructure and connectivity, and it's an ideal place that has also been recommended by JETRO. Next. The team visited from JETRO, from Invest India. They were quite impressed with the location, so they have also recommended. So we are expecting the approval shortly from the competent authority. Next. So this is the last slide, I think. What are the potential area after going through the infrastructure, logistic, connectivity, all those things? I personally feel that there's just some area where we can focus on. Recently, one MOU was signed between India and Japan for skilling, so that the people can be given some kind of skilling training, skill development, particularly the Japanese, in Japanese language, and they can be considered for employment in Japanese companies in Japan and other part of the world. So Assam government has 1,000 center for skilling of the youth. So we are planning to introduce this particular skill and focusing on the Japanese language. So this is one area where Assam and Japan can collaborate with. Automobile, silk, tea, hydrocarbon, rubber, bamboo, spices, and food processing. These are the area where we feel that there's a huge potential, and companies from Japan, they can consider to invest. They can bring the technology, and the raw material surplus is available here. We have a human resource, a pool of human resources. So these are the area where we hope a lot of success in this region. Assam has just 20 golf courses, and most of them are located in the lush green tea garden. And I know the people of Japan love golf, so golf tourism is one area where they can have huge potential. They can invest in wildlife tourism. Assam has 5 national park, about 25 wildlife sanctuary, and one of the rich biodiversity, flora and fauna. This is one area where we can work together. JIT, as we discussed, if it is come through, then it will also open up a huge opportunity for investment. And in cultural and educational sector, these areas untapped. We can explore that, how we can have a youth exchange program, cultural troop can visit these countries, and a lot of activities can take place. Next. Thank you very much. That is what I wanted to share with you. If there's any question, then I will be most happy to